I apologize for the way that my voice sounds, but it is outside of my control. But welcome back to More Than Couture. I'm your host, humble, gracious, all of the things, but not too much, because I am a Leo, honey. Okay, timestamps are at the bottom. If you don't want to hear what I got to say, just skip past it. We're going to do a little life update, just very miniature. How did I get here? Like, why do I sound like this? So let's start. Oh Lord, it's getting bad already. I have water and tea on standby. But okay, 2 weeks ago, I tried to record an episode of More Than Couture, right? And I recorded for about 45 to 50 minutes, and none of the video was captured for the episode. So I decided, I'm not a quitter. Let's do it again. So I start to record the episode again, and the device that my mic is connected to, it died. So after that, I just said, you know what? I am a quitter. That's it for me. I was very much over it. I did a lot that day, which you should be able to see in my weekly vlog. My weekly vlog goes up on Friday, so everything that happened 2 weeks ago, you'll be able to see in this week's weekly vlog. And then last week, I watched my niece from Sunday to Wednesday, and I did attempt to record. It was just a lot. Like, she had RSV. She is one of the twins. So one of the twins was in the ICU because both of them had RSV. And yeah, they sent the other baby home. And when I say home, I mean my mom originally got the baby. And then my mom started a new job last Monday. So, since I'm a gig worker, I don't have a place to be at a certain time. And so I end up watching her for 4 days. And yeah, it was just too much. It was too much. So I recorded the episode, and for part of it, he was a little squeamish. I literally have a bassinet still in the room with me right now. Cause I was holding her for a little bit, and she was breathing heavy. I'm sure you could hear it all in the mic, but that's neither here nor there. It was just a lot trying to get her together. She eats every 2 hours, and trying to upload everything, edit it, and get it up for the next day. It was just too much. So I let it go, and like I said, the baby had RSV, and we was like this all day, every day. She slept in my bed with me. Yeah, so now I'm sick. So now I'm sick, and it's bad. It's terrible. I have a really bad cough. It's I can't I have to sleep sitting up. So I have a neck pillow that I put around my neck, and then I I have a million pillows. So I just have all the pillows just kind of propping me up, and I just kind of sleep like that. It's very unfortunate, but it's literally what I have to do. I tried to sleep laying flat, and I woke up at 12 o'clock in the morning, coughing up a lung. I put a cough drop in my mouth, and I coughed it out of my mouth because I was violently coughing. So yeah, but I am trying to get back to my content, trying to be consistent, and just progress through these issues that I am having. Hopefully next week my voice will be somewhat normal. Usually when I go hoarse, I'm usually hoarse for a while, But the last time my voice was hoarse, it came back within a week. But I feel like I didn't get this hoarse. I will say I sound better than I did this morning. Like this morning was tragic. But anywho, I'm going to jump into the topics. I don't have a whole lot to talk about, but let's get into it. So this week I'm going to do our XOXO Gossip Girl.
You know you love me. XOXO Gossip Girl.
We're going to do that first, and then we'll get into our Reddit stories, aka Am I the Mean Girl? So first and foremost, you already know what we're about to talk about. I'm sure it was in the title, but it's all that anybody is talking about. Is Keeply went to Atlanta and just is really exposing Atlanta. Like, girl, what are y'all doing down there? Shout out to all the Atlanta listeners. And we do have some listeners in different countries. If you come to America, don't go to Atlanta. Okay? Just there's other places to go. Go to New York. It's dirty, so don't expect a whole lot. It's dirty and it smells bad. But you can go to New York, DC. DC is great. Love DC. There are some dirty parts of DC. There's dirty parts everywhere, but DC is a good time. To me, it's better than New York, but to each its own. I've never been to California, but I hear it's nice. I hear the weather's good. You know, maybe we should do a whole episode on places to visit in America for the people outside of the country. But anywho, Atlanta is not on my places to go. Like, social media make Atlanta sound terrible, like awful. Like, y'all have been talking about the Atlanta stylists for a while now, and now Atlanta's being exposed. First of all, let's back it up even more. So it's been like if you're looking for a man, Atlanta is not the place to find one. I hear that like the ratio of black men to women is like astronomical. Like, I don't have an exact number, but let's just make up a number just for the sake of the video. Like, for every one man, it's like 5 women, something crazy like that, or like 1 to 4. Like, the women drastically outweigh the men. And if you're a lesbian, that's good for you. But if you're a straight woman out here looking for, a man, then good luck. Also, I was listening to another podcast and they were saying like in Atlanta, like you just have to accept the fact that you have to share your man. And that is crazy. I'm not a sharing type of woman. I need my man to be my man, but to each his own. Yeah, and just I don't never hear a lot of good things about Atlanta, to be honest with you. I'm just being honest. Like, the traffic is bad. Like, I just don't be hearing good stuff about Atlanta. And then Keeply went down there and just made it worse. I'm like, dang, I do not want to go to Atlanta. Like, it just don't seem like a good time. And I've actually been to Atlanta a lot of times as a child because I have family that lives in Atlanta. So growing up, we drove to Atlanta from Richmond plenty of times. So I've been there plenty of times. I just never been there as an adult. And I guess like I've been there so much, like I was never pressed to go back. So I just, never went back. I will eventually go back because I want to go on a vacation in every state in the United States of America. So eventually I will be back in Atlanta because where else am I going to go in Georgia? I don't know. But anywho, Keith Lee went down there, exposed these people. I mean, it was bad. It was real bad. Like, Atlanta is down bad. It was so bad. Like, Cardi B chimed in and was like, yeah, it's that bad. I'm like, damn. Okay, so let's get into the meat and potatoes of it all. There were good reviews from Keith Lee, but we're not going to talk about those. We're going to speak on. There was a restaurant, the first restaurant that they went to called the Breakfast Club. And first of all, we was a little shook, a little shooketh after that one because Keith Lee was like, where's the butter? $1 for butter. That's crazy at a breakfast restaurant. That's nuts. In fact, it's just nuts just in general. Even if it wasn't a breakfast restaurant, like paying an extra $1 for butter is crazy. Like, even if I get a baked potato, like butter should be included. Butter should be free, like salt and pepper. Like, it's the basic condiment, like ketchup, mustard, butter, salt, pepper. You get what I'm saying. And most of the time when Keith Lee reviews restaurants, most of the time they're good reviews. It's usually good restaurants. So when you get one and it's like, the food was okay, extra $1 for butter, that's wild. Cool. Like, it was ha ha he he. And then it got to the real, what was it? The real milk and honey. And that's when things got spicy. So went there, came out empty-handed. It was just a mess. And the real tea of it all is, he said what he said, went there, tried to get food. They tried to call in. They called in, it was like, you have to order on DoorDash. Okay, tried to order on DoorDash. It said the restaurant was closed. So they went in person to the restaurant because on the website it said the restaurant was still open. Get there and they're like, oh, we're closed because we're deep cleaning. What? Like, what? Y'all couldn't deep clean after the closing time? Anywho, so he says all this. He sends his family in or whatever. Once he tries to walk in the restaurant or whatever, then it's, oh, let's get Keith Lee up. You want something to eat? We got you. No, I'm good. I'm good on that. So the real milk and honey response, tragic, very tragic. Like, girl, like this is what you're doing. So basically they made a post. I guess it was like the owner and his children. It was an older guy, maybe in his like 50s or 60s or something like that. And then it was like two younger girls, maybe like in their early 20s, maybe late teens. And they were like, oh, did you see what Keith Lee said? And basically the owner was like, who is Keith Lee? But the math is not mathing, because when Keith Lee went to the restaurant, y'all was trying to give him food. Because y'all seen it was Keith Lee. But now you don't know who Keith Lee is. Okay, girl. It's giving petty. It's giving bad PR. This is not how you respond. Okay. So, girl, so much stuff happened while he was in Atlanta. So then, on a different day, he goes to the Old Lady Gang restaurant because, Candy's team or whatever, they reached out to him or seen him somewhere or something. It was like, please come to the restaurant, whatever. So he goes to the restaurant. He's seen his family in there, his mom, I believe, and try to get their name on the list to get a table. They're like, oh, it's gonna be an hour and a half wait. Okay, cool. They don't do takeout, whatever. So Keith Lee comes in and it went from an hour and a half wait to 5 minutes. Oh, we have a table ready in 5 minutes. Baby girl, what do you mean? The math ain't mathing. So he declines and he goes to another restaurant after that. So he does a review for the old lady gang, basically saying similar to what he said about the real milk and honey. Went in, sent the family in. They couldn't do nothing for you. I mean, it was better at the old lady gang restaurant. I mean, at least they put you on the list. But he come in and they're like, oh, we can seat you right now, type of situation. We can feed you now. We can get your to go order right now. Keith Lee, he's a humble man. Okay, he's better than I am, but he's not for the special treatment. He wants everybody to be treated the same because he's a good person. And Candy's response was a whole lot better than the owner of the Real Milk and Honey. And in fact, jumping back to the Real Milk and Honey, one of their managers or someone who worked for the restaurant was like commenting on people's posts and stuff. And basically, she called Keith Lee autistic and was like, oh, y'all gonna take this autistic man opinion about food and tell y'all where to eat. Girl, distasteful, because first of all, even if he was autistic, first of all, he's never said that he was autistic, but even if Keith Lee was autistic or, was on the spectrum or whatever, what does it have to do with anything? That doesn't make somebody less credible with a critique. Einstein, was autistic, and he's one of the smartest people that ever existed. So doesn't really mean anything. It just means your brain works in a different way. And there are some people who, are low needs, and there's some people that are high needs. It was very ableist. That's what it was giving. So that was just a bad look on them. Just the whole restaurant in general, like, clearly you can tell what kind of people they are based off of the stuff that they posted. So Candy did respond to Keith Lee, thing, and she was very humble. She was very gracious. She did not address the weight, but she did address why they don't do takeout. And she was saying, it's for the kitchen and for the people dining in to have a better experience. They don't have to wait on their food as long if the kitchen is not backed up with takeout orders, which makes complete sense. They may want to hire some more kitchen staff or whatever. I don't know. So they can accommodate 4 takeout orders, but it's not my business, literally and figuratively. So whatever, Candy, she's a big baller. She's a businesswoman, okay? She knows what she's doing. But apparently I was looking at some videos that other people posted about the restaurant, and apparently it's really small. So I can only assume that the kitchen is also small. Yeah, and Keith Lee, so after he left Old Lady Gang restaurant, he went to a different restaurant that I don't remember the name of, but there was an incident at that restaurant. So, he sent his family in, or did he say everybody went in? I don't know. Either way. Keith Lee and his family, they get to the restaurant. They're trying to sit Keith Lee immediately. They're like trying to find a table for him to sit immediately. And there were other customers there who were waiting in the parking lot, and they like recorded the whole thing. And Keith Lee was basically like, once they get seated and they get their takeout, then you can, feed me and my family. And yeah. So the girl, I think both of the girls made videos or whatever. They, went over their encounters on what happened, or maybe it was just one person. I feel like I seen 2 different videos though. And I think I seen one girl's video. She like spoke on it after she got home, and she was like, they went to church and they was hungry and yada, yada, yada. So it was just a whole fiasco. It was crazy. And I feel like I seen like very little hate comments, but a few hate comments like to Keith Lee. In fact, one of the people that I follow, like, one of my mutuals on TikTok said something like in regards to somebody made a video talking about the lady calling him autistic or whatever, and she basically was like agreeing with the lady. She was like, yeah, I mean, she not telling no lie. Like, I'm not gonna let nobody dictate where I eat. It's giving hate. That's what it's giving. Like, Keepley is a really nice person, and clearly you can tell, like, he stands on the things that he says he does. Like, he is the same person online that he is in real life. Like, he wants everybody to be treated fairly. And to me, it's just like, I don't get it. Like, people be jealous of somebody like that. Like, and one of the places that he went to, he gave the server $1,000 tip. He went to a different place and gave somebody a $500 tip. Like, he's very generous. Like, he has it, and he wants to share, the wealth and what he has. And people just are jealous. People get jealous of what other people have. And it's just like, the internet made him famous. It's not like he is out here doing pranks in the mall and stuff. Like, he's out here just giving his opinion on food, and he got popular off of that. Like, he's a good person. He deserves it. He has a beautiful family. I have nothing bad to say about Keith Lee. I don't see how anyone else could. And that's how I feel about Tabitha Brown as well. Like, people have bad stuff to say about Tabitha Brown too. And I'm just like, Tabitha Brown is like so sweet and so nice. Like, she is the person she portrays herself to be on the internet. And people just are haters. People just be hating on other people for no reason. You gotta be happy for other people. I mean, be a hater for what? Like, it's not gonna get you anything being a hater. Okay, let's move along. On to the next subject. Let's get on Mr. Jay-Z, honey. So, Jay-Z did a interview with Gale King, and I specifically want to talk about him talking about his wife and his daughter. And this is what we love to see. Like, you can just see him light up, especially when he was talking about Blue. That's a family man right there. I know a lot of people have like speculations and stuff about Jay-Z and Beyonce, and not just them, but celebrity couples just in general. And in light of the whole Jada and Will thing, it just makes people speculate even more about celebrity like relationships and stuff. And I feel like Jay-Z and Beyonce really love each other. Like, their family is like their everything. Like, I feel like they both just like locked in with the family. Now, it's been rocky, it's been tumultuous, but all relationships there are some things that, some unsavory things about the relationship I don't really care for. I won't speak on that today. We can speak on it on another day, but just from what I'm seeing, like, I can just tell that, like, he really cares about his family. He was at every show. He was in the audience. He was supporting his wife. He loved being, seeing his daughter get up on the stage and do her thing. And he was talking about, how she was nervous, and how this was Beyonce's best show that, so far, that he really loves the show. And it really makes me excited to see Beyonce's Renaissance tour in theaters. I didn't get a chance to see it, in person or whatever, because, my life has been tumultuous. So didn't get a chance to see it, but I know next time she goes on tour, definitely, for sure, I definitely want to see her in concert. Like, it's a must for me, even if I have to save up, put some money to the side specifically for that. Like, next time Beyonce go on tour, this $1,000 is for me to go see her. Yeah, like, Beyonce is my favorite celebrity. Definitely Beehive. Like, love Beyonce. Love you down. Love you deep, boo. I love that her husband is supporting her, and I wish that more men would just talk about their wife's accomplishments. Like, first of all, the interview, they were talking about him and him getting an exhibit at the Brooklyn Library, I want to say. Don't quote me. I think that's what it was. But, they were there interviewing him about his accomplishment, and, he just, like, I don't know. It's just like, you could just see, like, how much he loved his daughter and how much he admires his wife. And I just feel like we don't see that enough. It's just like, people always complain about being married, and the whole thing about, Keke Palmer, baby daddy saying you're a mom though, and Beyonce get up there and wear less clothes than what Keke Palmer had when she went to the Usher concert, and Jay-Z, he knows that, she's out in the public, she's doing her job. And though Keke Palmer was at a, concert or whatever, to me, for celebrities, whenever they step out in public, they're on the clock. And she was in public, she was, enjoying the concert. But, she's Keke Palmer. She's not, it's not like it was me. Even though me, I still would. That's just me. But he just looked like he enjoys his family. He looked like he enjoys his in-laws. Him and Solange had their whole little spat. But, at the concert, they was right next to each other enjoying the show. Like, they look like they ain't have no type of beef or nothing. But stuff like that happens in families, like, especially when you've been with somebody for a long time. Like, shit be happening. So, they over it. I don't know what Jay-Z did, but he did something, honey. I really hope and pray that in the future things will be better for us as a society when it comes to relationships, and men, letting the women really shine and live their best life. And, seeing your partner happy should make you happy. But what the hell do I know? I don't have a partner. But that's all I wanted to say about the Jay-Z thing. Like, Halle Bailey, I feel like this girl is playing in our face. Like, this girl is really playing in our face. Her and DDG, what is happening over there? They took them pictures for Halloween, the poetic justice, Halloween costume. It was cute. Baby girl does not look pregnant at all. When she got the award from Glamour for girl being inspirational, I don't know. Let me look it up real quick. Was it Woman of the Year? That's what it looks like. It looks like she was awarded Glamour's Woman of the Year award. Well deserved. She definitely deserved it. She's very talented. She's like, the vocals are crazy. The acting ability, crazy. Like, she's definitely that girl. When she did Glamour or whatever, when she accepted her award, she didn't look pregnant to me. Like, her waist looked real snatched. So I'm confused. I don't know what's happening. Girl, are you pregnant or not? Like, stop playing with us. And I tried to, like, go back a little bit to see, like, when these rumors started. So it started back in August. That's when the rumors started that she was pregnant. So we're not that much past when the rumors initially started. But it's just like, okay, so if she was, pregnant enough to be quote unquote showing back in August, which she didn't look pregnant to me at all. In fact, she had a wine glass in her hand. But that's neither here nor there. But let's just say she was pregnant enough to the point to be showing. She would have had to be at least 3 months. So, okay, that would put her at 5 months now. At 5 months, you're showing. Like, it's pretty hard to hide at 5 months that you're pregnant. Like, not like the stuff that she's wearing. Like, if you're wearing like loose clothes, okay, which she has been wearing some loose clothes in between, the stuff that I've just talked about. Like, the glamour thing was like 2 weeks ago, and then of course the poetic justice, that was just a couple days ago. Like, the glamour, it was tight fitting at the top and then it flared out at the bottom. But like at the waist part, it was small. Like, it was a fluffy dress, but I don't think it was like cover up a pregnancy type of dress. Like, if she was like early in her pregnancy, like a couple months, like 2 or 3 months pregnant, yeah, she could probably cover that up. But to be 5 months pregnant, that ain't the type of dress that I personally, I don't know. I really didn't think she was pregnant until I seen the pictures from the shade room where she was wearing like that hoodie and she looked like she had a big old stomach. And it was not a 5 month type of belly. Like, it was like a 8 months pregnant type of, like, about to have the baby the next month type of pregnant. Like, she looked big. So I I am I'm confuzzled. I am confused and I don't know what's going on. I'm just gonna assume that she is not pregnant until she announces that she is pregnant, okay? And I'm gonna just leave that there. So that's gonna conclude the XOXO Gossip Girl segment because a lot of stuff did not happen over this week. If you want to get into some political stuff, then yeah, news wise, some stuff did happen, and we can touch on that just for a bit. I am not. I'm not gonna say I'm not the political girl because I watch political content all the time. I just am not well researched, well versed in political stuff. So a couple things happened that we can touch on. And this first one is not really a political thing, but it is, but it's not. There was a mass shooting in Maine, and the constant conversation of gun control comes up, which is why I say it's like a political thing, but like, I just, mass shootings to me is a political thing. It's just like, it just sparks up all types of political conversations every single time. And it was the biggest mass shooting of the year, the biggest mass shooting in a while. I don't know what the solution is. I'm not going to pretend like I know what the solution is. Everybody around this piece, they love their guns. So, I mean, we talk about common sense laws like background checks, mental evaluations, simple shit, and for some reason, the the Republican side, they're like, we don't need to do all that. Why not? It's a bunch of psychopaths running around the United States. I don't know why we do. I believe that majority of this country is dealing with some type of mental illness, whether that is depression or something such as schizophrenia, bipolar, we have a lot going on here. It's a lot happening here. We're very desensitized to mass shootings like this. Yeah, it's crazy. It's just, I want it to end. I want this stuff to stop happening, but it's gonna keep happening. And I'm sure, like, if you look up statistically how many like mass shootings in, that we've had like this year or any year for the past 10 years, you'll see that we've had at least one every day, statistically, not literally, but we've had like 500 mass shootings this year, something like that. And it equals out to about like 1.5 shooting a day. So, depressing. Anywho, I'm not going to stay too much on the political stuff because it can go, it can get sad real quick. Like, it can be depressing. Then there's the stuff that's happening in Palestine, and a lot of boycotts going on right now, from Starbucks, McDonald's, Dunkin'. It's like a whole list. Disney Plus, Disney just in general, the whole Disney empire, Hulu, which is owned by Disney. I have no words. Like, it's really bad over there. They cut off their power, they cut off their water, they cut off their internet. Like, the people in Gaza can't talk to in the outside world. Like, it's really scary, and I don't like to consume too much of that information because it'll like take me over the edge, because it's like, just me talking about it right now, like, I'm getting kind of like teary-eyed. I am an emotional being. Like, I will girl, I will bawl these eyes out. I try not to consume too much of the information. I consume enough to stay informed on what's going on over there, but not so much that I let it kind of control how I feel day to day, if that makes sense. Cause yeah, life is already rough for just the regular everyday American citizen. Like I just said, like, mass shootings happen all the time here, and we're kind of like numb to it. So we just have a lot going on just in general in that aspect. Like, sending your child to school is, it's supposed to be a safe place for them, and it's, you never know. I think for the most part, like, a lot of the schools in the district that I live in, they do a good job of, you know, safety when it comes to people coming in and out of the building. Some are better than others, but, as someone who does DoorDash, like, when I go, and I hate going to schools, but I kind of had to change my mind frame about delivering to schools. Oh gosh, sorry, y'all, I'm getting teary-eyed. Oh, oh, girl, we're gonna have to move on to the next subject. But I try to change my mindset about like delivering at schools, because at first I'm like, I hate it, because I'm like, any sick ass person could be pretending to be dropping some shit off for DoorDash and coming the damn school. But I'm like, it's me. At least, I know I'm not gonna come in here and do anything, so I don't mind taking them. It's better me than somebody else, because I know me. I know I ain't gonna do nothing crazy. I don't even own a weapon, so but I would prefer that they didn't order. I prefer that teachers and the staff didn't order anything from, DoorDash and the other services. Like, y'all don't need extra people in the school. That's just my personal opinion, but it's just a lot happening in the world, and I just try not to consume too much of it, Because it's sad. Like, if you really just sit there and harp on all the stuff that's happening in the world, you can be a sad bitch. And I'm really trying to enjoy my life, even though I have my own stuff going on. Still, clearly, as you can hear, like, I didn't sleep last night because, because I was coughing up a lung. But, try to keep it positive and keep it moving. I do what I can. I do plan on we stopped with the Starbucks. I have to go look at the list. Like, what else we not supposed to be doing? Just to put myself in the clear, because I am in solidarity with Palestine. Free Palestine. Free the people. Get them people back to their land. And there's a lot of discourse with the next election coming up. And I just thought of a name, y'all. This could be our Legally Blonde segment. We're gonna talk about political stuff on the Legally Blonde. The brain is always ticking and talking, okay? She's always moving and grooving. This is the Legally Blonde section. There's a lot of discourse going on about the Democratic side on social media, and basically, long story short, it's pretty split. People are like, yeah, I'm not voting for Biden next time because of the stuff with Palestine and them sending over money to Israel. And then there's the other side. They're like, well, if you don't vote for Biden, then we're going to have Trump as president again, which, girl, Trump got too much going on to be running for president. Like, the election is in a year. Like, in a year from now, and he been in court more than he been on the campaign, and he has other like cases. Like, he's still on the first one in New York. So I don't know what's gonna happen with that. The next year is gonna be interesting. I think everybody is valid in how they feel. Like, a lot of people like Project 2025. They don't want that to go into place, so they're like, no, we need to vote for Biden no matter what. And people are like, no, I'm good. Like, I don't want him as president again. I don't care who else is the president. I'm not voting for him again. And everybody's valid in how they feel. I get both sides. I'm just going to see how the next year plays out, and I will make a decision, based on how the next year plays out. And we just have to see what happens. But yeah, I get both sides, honestly. It's hard. Politics it's just been crazy. Like, ever since Trump has been crazy, I said, wow, I did not say that right. Ever since Trump was president, things have just been crazy. Like, from 2016 to now, it's just been all over the place. We're going to move on past this. And I just want to say this real quick before we get into these Reddit stories. I'm going to see Coco Jones tomorrow. So next week, be ready for a review, honey. I know it's going to be good, but just be ready. Be ready. Okay, let's get to these Reddit stories so we can get out of here. And I'm way behind on my schedule for life. So I have 3 Reddit stories. 2, Am I the Mean Girls? And 1, Get It Off My Chest. So go ahead and play the intro.
She doesn't even go here.
She doesn't even go here. And this is the Am I the Mean Girl segment, aka our Reddit segment. And I only read the titles. I didn't actually read the stories. Just based off the titles, they seemed interesting. So this is the Get It Off My Chest, or Off My Chest. And the title is The Barbie Movie Made Me Realize I Hate My Friends. So, sounds pretty interesting. This is petty, but there's a lot of build up to this. I am a very sensitive person who gets really excited by things like events, movies, and friends. I never really expressed myself as a kid out of shame of being girly and crap. This year was really, really hard for me because of medical issues, social fallouts, and mental health issues. And it's stupid, but one of the things that kept me from seeing the Barbie movie. It seems like something's missing, but I'm gonna keep reading. It was going to be the first time I dressed up with friends and made a big deal out of it. I just graduated and lost my best friend who I was originally going to see it with. We planned and joked about how to dress, when to go to get everything like the limited edition cups and stuff. It was stupid, but it was the first time I felt excited to go to something without being embarrassed. So I'd lost my best friend, but my remaining mutual friends said they'd go with me and we'd all have a ton of fun. For weeks, we talked about it, and I expressed my excitement in everything, and they really bantered back. I bought the tickets that my friend asked me to get. I bought the tickets my friend asked me to get as well for cheaper times. Day of the movie, though, everyone showed up late. Nobody was dressed up or had anything pink, and when I brought out the pink decor for my boyfriend to wear, he rolled his eyes at me. What's worse is the tickets were for the matinee show, so there were babies crying throughout the whole thing. Afterwards, I found out the friends who asked me to buy the tickets knew and didn't say anything. They knew what? They knew babies were going to be there? I'm so confused. Every time I hung out with my friends since, I've just felt so disconnected and defeated. It's stupid, but that movie meant a lot to me, and I really feel like I have no hope left for anybody. Edit. Just realized it sounds like my former best friend passed away. She did not. She just backstabbed me earlier in the year, so I cut off all contact. So, me personally, I went to go see the Barbie movie by myself, and I did dress up. I felt very overdressed, and I did go see it during the day, during the matinee. I feel like if I would have went at night, it would have been more people like dressed up. I felt really overdressed. Like I wore a pink wig, and I have a hat that says Barbie on it, like a beanie, and it has Barbie on the little flip up part. And I wore a Barbie shirt that I found last year at Family Dollar. It was a black Barbie, and it was pink or whatever, and it said Barbie. And I think I just wore jeans. I just remember my shirt in like the upper half of my body. I think I wore jeans though. And yeah, I enjoyed myself. It was a good movie. Loved it. I would say, I know she just went to get on her just. She's not really looking for advice, but just get into doing stuff by yourself. That's kind of the point where I am now, is I just do stuff by myself. I have friends, but like a lot of my friends have kids, or, they have 9 to 5s. Their schedule, like I can do stuff whenever I get good and ready to do it. Like I don't have to, put in a time off request or anything like that. So sometimes I just spontaneously want to do stuff, and I just do it by myself. And I've been doing this for years. Like I always go to the movies by myself. I never ask anybody to go to the movies with me. I think the last time I went to the movies with someone I went with my sister and my nieces to see The Little Mermaid. Other than that, I just go to movies by myself, and I really like Marvel movies, and I know a lot of girls are not into Marvel, so I literally just go by myself. Like, don't even ask. Like, I literally ask no one to do anything. And I need to get out of the habit of doing that. But for the most part, like, I be out all by myself. But yeah, I mean, it sucks. And then as an adult, it's just hard to make like genuine connections and friendships and stuff. But you just gotta be a lone wolf out here in these streets, and connect with people when you can. But I just I don't think you should be embarrassed. Like, just be your authentic self. And I feel like the more you go out and do stuff by yourself, like, you'll attract other people. Like, random people talk to me all the time. Like, people just like have a whole full-blown conversation with me. And it's cool. I don't mind at all. Yeah, so that was our first one. Not too much on it. All right, this next one is, am I the mean girl for postponing my vacation with my girlfriend because of my ex? All right, is it long? It's a little lengthy. Okay. My ex-wife and I divorced 6 years ago. We married really young. She is very religious, and there was pressure from her family to marry. I was young and dumb and had just left the military with no sense of direction. We were very different people, but it didn't come out, as we only dated for 8 months before marrying. It felt very romantic to marry after such a short time, but after we wed and moved in together, it was clear we weren't a good match. We stuck it out for 8 years, but it wasn't working, and we were both older. So the whole thing with living miserable to make other people happy, her and my parents, didn't appeal anymore. I don't blame her for any of it. I think we just didn't understand what we wanted at the time and did things to please other people. We had an amicable divorce, and our son lives with her until high school. He is with me for high school because we live near a top school, and she lives in a small town without a good high school. He is supposed to stay summers and holidays with her and come here during the school year. My ex-wife was diagnosed with cervical cancer last month, and it was caught late, so it's already spread. The long-term survival rate isn't great, and I want my son to visit his mother in a week or two before she goes through her hysterectomy. My vacation renews every June 30th. I saved 2 weeks to go to Hawaii this winter break. However, with this situation, I want to take a week or two to go with my son to be there for him. His mom won't be able to cook or clean for him, and he also wants me to drive them up to the next city to visit his grandparents. The other issue is my son might have to stay with us for winter break. He is supposed to go with his mom, but it's unlikely now depending on her treatment schedule. And I don't want to go on vacation with him home alone with this happening. My girlfriend is not happy because we have winter break set up to go to Hawaii and our flights have been booked. I called the airline and they said they would switch our flights to a later one for $600, which I offered to cover so we could rebook the vacation for next fall instead. But she thinks my son should be able to go back alone and thinks I'm wasting my vacation going with him when we already have plans. My son goes on flights by himself. He is almost 16. However, this time my ex isn't going to be physically able to take care of our son. There are also a lot of things to be done in prep for my son and my ex before she goes through chemo and surgery. My girlfriend is upset I'm prioritizing my ex over her, but I see it as going because my son might lose his mom. Where do I start? Like, I just feel like it's so insensitive to, girl, fuck that vacation. I don't know how else to tell you this, but fuck that vacation. Cause girl, you have plenty of time ahead of you, God willing, and this woman might die. What the fuck? Honestly, I think you should just break up with her and keep it pushing, because clearly she is not the one. Like, that's very selfish. And I feel like this goes back to dating. Me, as someone who doesn't have any kids, like, I prefer to date people who don't have children because I don't want the baggage of a situation like this. Like, I don't want to deal with, you know, your baby mama have cancer and or ex-wife, and we got to cancel our vacation to accommodate things, which me personally, I would do it. Like, if you care for your stepson, which, I mean, they're not married, so I mean, technically it's not her stepson, but if you care about your significant other and their child, I think like it's a no-brainer. We can take this vacation another time. It's just that simple. The way people do not value life is insane to me. I am going to read some of the comments on this post, if there are any, because, okay, it's some comments on here. So one of the comments says, "Oh, wow, your current girlfriend is cold and heartless, not the asshole. You're doing the right thing by your son. He's going to experience tragedy, and your girlfriend is more concerned about her vacation plans." Pretty much. And somebody replied to that comment and says, "She's jealous of a dying woman, not the asshole." Okay. I didn't even think about this. Okay, so this person, I'm gonna read part of their comment, but anyways, it says, "Not the asshole, not even remotely. Yes, he's old enough to feed himself, do his own laundry, and travel by himself. But this is a huge visit, and he needs emotional support as well as help with basics and to go see his grandparents." So I didn't touch on his age, but yeah, obviously he's old enough to take care of himself. Like, his ex-wife shouldn't have to do anything for their son at this point. Like, a 60-year-old can cook and stuff for themselves. She probably wouldn't like need to like financially provide for him, but other than that, she shouldn't have to do much for him. And we don't know if he has a license. Even if he did have a license, do you feel comfortable letting him drive? I don't know how far away the grandparents live, but driving to the next town, whatever that may mean, because they could live in the middle of nowhere, because it sounds like she lived in like a small town. So the next town could be like an hour over. Do you feel comfortable with him driving an hour over? Are they country roads? No, girl. So I definitely get that. Plus, emotional support is definitely needed. This is a good comment. This one, it says, "Not the asshole. You are correct. You're not prioritizing your ex. You are prioritizing your son, who may be about to lose his mother." Not the asshole. You're prioritizing your son over your girlfriend, which you should. Your girlfriend sounds cold and like one of those women who expect your son to move out at 18, and that the both of you will then pretend like he doesn't exist. Yeah, she's a piece of shit, and I hope she sees the comments on Reddit and gets a grip on life, because girl, it's not cool. It's not cool at all. Yeah, I was gonna read the third one, but I'm gonna stop. I really struggled to read that last one. You guys aren't gonna like, I'm gonna edit it so you won't see all that the struggling that came about just in general. Just, blowing my nose, drinking. I finished the tea, trying to drink the rest of this water. And yeah, I'm really hoping next week is a smoother week, because the past couple weeks been a little cray cray. So I've been recording for over an hour. Yeah, it's time to hang it up, flat screen, period. But yeah, I will see you guys in the next episode. Also, it's November 1st. Let's rock out these last 2 months. And that is it, and that is all. Bye.